We're here with head men's basketball coach Blake Mellinger. Coach, coming off a 91-77 loss to Notre Dame College. Definitely a game that we were in, I would say, for 3/4 of the game. Even there late with all the foul trouble that was on the Falcons, or that the Falcons had. We were still in that game. It was tied at halftime, 33. I guess the biggest thing is there in the second half, we even got it down to a 4-point lead once they took the lead. What was kind of some of the changes they made on the defensive end kind of halted our offense?
I think part of it was we just had some weird lineups out there. We got in foul trouble ourselves. We had two bigs out there, which we hadn't played with a ton. But the biggest thing is, it hovered and it stayed in that 6-point range. It seemed like forever. We just couldn't. Like, our first shot defense was pretty good. We just couldn't get a rebound. It seemed like 3 or 4 straight possessions, like we forced a miss on their first shot, and then they get an offensive rebound until they scored. And really it kind of continued that way probably in the first 12 minutes of the second half, and then I think we stopped defending there at the end, and they were able to stretch it out on us.
Definitely. You touched on one point there, offensive rebounds. At one point, looking at the live stats, they were out-rebounding us on offensive rebounds 18-2. Just kind of talk about, they definitely have a size advantage. In my opinion, one of the bigger teams here in the league when they throw them all out there. How difficult is that to handle when you got guys like Will Voorhees, then you've got the 7-footer in there in Solomon. Jashawn Lewis isn't small by any means as well.
Yeah, he went to a bigger lineup there through midway through the second half, and there's no question it gave us trouble. Even though we had our bigger lineup in too, we still weren't able to rebound the ball, and then offensively, I think that actually hurt us a little bit because just because of foul trouble, we kind of had guys playing out of position and a few other things.
Then if you could talk a little bit about, I believe 6 players scored for the Cavs here tonight. Previous 2 games it was only 5 and 4. You've got some players out there, like obviously the senior forward Matt Day, just a tremendous player, a leader, everything else. He's been playing as well as ever here in the last few games, and also with Sosa. But then you have some players out there who have kind of been struggling, especially on the offensive side. What is there maybe that they can do to build some confidence, getting some shots down?
Really overall, we had the guys that we needed to score scored. Dimitri Sosa was 8 for 11 from the field. JaVale was 5 for 11, 5 for 10 from the 3, which is, you can't ask any more than that from him. Phil struggled from the field a little bit shooting wise. We had 8 assists and 3 turnovers. So even though he wasn't necessarily scoring the ball, he's still creating offense for us. It's a struggle for us to get scoring out of our bench right now. We don't have the depth that we'd like to have, and we're just missing that that one other scorer that we can bring in off the bench that can kind of give us a boost when those guys come out of the game.
Definitely. Kevin, you want to add anything?
Just tough. The run there, the first 4 minutes of the second half, they outscored you 15-5. You had a tie game. You had the momentum. Seemed like.
Yeah, we did, and we came down, and it seemed like first 2 possessions we got good looks and just didn't convert, and then I forget exactly. They went down and scored, and then it seemed like the next 2 possessions after that, we turned it over or something, and all of a sudden it's it goes from a tie game to being down double figures in a heartbeat, and that's kind of how they are though. They score in bunches. They make big runs, and you kind of have to expect that against them. But when they make those runs, you need to be able to make a run yourself. And we just we had an opportunity to come out and do that in the first half. We just didn't convert on those first 2 or 3 possessions, and that kind of put us in a hole.